Hi, Annalisa here, coming to you from the Egoless Actor channel on YouTube. We are not actually attempting to become egoless actors. That's not really possible. But we are attempting to become friends with our ego, to notice our ego, to realize when it is acting out. We're not acting from our true self, we're acting from an egoic place. And so today's topic is another way that we can befriend our ego and that we can move beyond it. So this is something that's been coming up a lot in my own life and a lot in the lives of those I'm working with. And it is how we are showing up in our daily lives, in the circumstances where we are pursuing our dream. So it may be anything from a voice lesson to an audition to a recital to a jury to a master class, a scene study class. But how are we showing up? And what I mean by that is, what energy are we bringing to the situation? And we all know that words have energy and that they're very powerful, but our thoughts have an equal amount of energy and power. So an example of that would be, the person that kind of is really annoying because they want to be everybody's friend and they try so hard, and they don't necessarily say, I want to be your friend, I want to be your friend, I want to be your friend, but you can feel that. Sometimes without them saying anything at all. Maybe it's by their proximity to you every time you're around them. So that's how they're showing up. Another example might be when someone has romantic interest in you. And they might not say it, but you can tell. We do the same things in our professional lives when we show up for an audition and we really, 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 really desperately want the job, and if we don't get it, we think we might have to move back home, or if we don't get this job, we're probably never going to book anything ever again, or if we don't get this job, it means that we're really not talented and we shouldn't have, so when we show up in that way, the people in the room feel that. So how do we change that? So this became very real to me not too long ago. A few weeks ago, I was going to a voice lesson, and I'm a very new student with this teacher, and so it was my third lesson, and it had been about a month since I'd seen her, and I was very nervous, but I didn't really realize it. I got there and I was early, so I was walking around the block, and I just sort of stopped and checked in with myself, which thank goodness I did. And I thought, what am I feeling? What is going on inside? And I noticed that I had a bit of tension, a bit of anxiety about the situation. Nothing crazy. It was subtle, underlying. And so I was like, what is that about? Why is it there? I'm usually excited about this sort of thing. And I realized that it was coming from this deep desire to please, for approval, which makes sense. So I did not beat myself up about it, and I did not say, you can't feel that way, you should change that, because both of those things would not be productive at all. So what I did do is I just acknowledged it, and I thought, okay, and then I just breathed. I kind of focusing on my heart center, I took about maybe 5 good, deep, long inhalation, exhalations. And that always causes your nervous system to relax a bit. And then I thought, instead of walking into this voice lesson with a need to hear, oh, Annalisa, you sound great, or, oh, the improvement, or anything like that, I want to go in and create and come from a place of creativity and of joy. And so to do that, I went to gratitude. Gratitude is always such a great mood shifter. And from that place, I just said, man, I am so grateful that I'm living in New York City, following my dream, living my dream, going to work with a fantastic voice teacher. I am healthy. I'm singing material I love, etc. And I could go on and on and on. And at first you start to say that, and your ego is like, yeah, but you're still really nervous. What if you suck? And you just notice it, but you just keep going from this place of gratitude. And as Jack Plotnick says, you release the need to go in and be brilliant. I don't need to go in and be a brilliant singer. I don't need to go in and make beautiful sounds. So I noticed it. I breathed a bit just to kind of center myself. And then I came from a place of gratitude and released that which didn't serve me, which was the need for approval. And I think that a great thing that we can do is to notice that so often when we are really stressing out, it's because we're coming to these things focusing on that which we cannot control, right? I mean, we go to an audition and we're focusing on the results, but we can't control whether we're going to get the job or not. We go into a class wanting the teacher or the other students to think that our work is great, but we can't control any of that. We go into a dance class wanting for the dance teacher to say, oh, they're great, or for the people around you to say, to not think, oh, she's the worst person in here. But I can't control if they think that or not. So often, just start to notice when you go to a class, to a voice lesson, to a coaching, to an audition, or even when you book the show and you go to do it. I have had the experience in the past year of when I've booked the show, I've shown up, I've got a great role, and the first week of rehearsal, I'm focusing on hoping the director is glad that he cast me. Hoping the other actors think, yeah, it's a good thing she got the part, and not thinking, why did she get it? What a waste of time and energy. Focusing on all that we cannot control. But what we can control is the energy that we bring to the situation. Are we going to bring fear, or are we going to bring love? And love encompasses all those other emotions. Joy and that's where the creativity comes from, is from that love place. So that's what I want to leave you with today, is to begin to notice. And it's hard. If this is the way your mind has been going the last 2, 4, 10 years, a place of fear, a place of worry, then it's not going to change overnight. You're going to go to an audition still, and you're still going to have those other thoughts. So start slow and be compassionate with yourself and patient with yourself and loving. Journal about it. Say, well, today I still went to class and I was really wrapped up in what everybody else was thinking. But I was able to implement gratitude throughout it. Gratitude for noticing that that's where I was. So start slow. Notice. Check in with yourself. Release what does not serve you. Release the fear, release the doubt, release the need to be perfect, to be brilliant, and then be grateful for where you are. And that is how we can connect to a place of creativity and joy and be in the moment. And that's when amazing things happen, spontaneity and scenes and songs, because you're not thinking about, oh my gosh, is this music director loving the sounds that I'm making? Instead, you're in the moment and connected, and you this great choice, and it's so fun, and it's of the moment, and it's organic. So this is what I leave you with today. There will be more videos like this. Please feel free to comment with questions, with what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and maybe other topics of things that you would like to discuss on how to balance this life that we've chosen, pursuing this amazing dream, and connecting and aligning with our peace, our joy, our love, and our light.